give you maybe this one too, because this has got a Jeff signature if they pass it. Here. You good with that? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No, yes, it was faster than I thought.
He's a hoot.
Only have one or two who won't count.
Parcel? Yeah. 100 and something? Yeah.
I'd like to call the regular Board of Commissioners meeting to order at 6 p.m. The first, I believe I have to motion to make me chair to run the meeting because our vice chair and our chair are not present tonight. So could I have a motion to have me as chair?
The Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance.
No, he wants control now. So he's asking for you to make that motion. I'll make a motion for you and Dave Rushing to be chair.
Can I have a second?
No?
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. All right, at this time, I'd like to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the
republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Could I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Smasko?
Present.
Commissioner Baldwin? Commissioner Beeden?
Present.
Commissioner Trello?
Present.
Commissioner Rushing?
Here.
Commissioner Vandemash?
Here.
Commissioner Bowe?
All right, this time, agenda item 4. Can I have a motion to accept the agenda as presented?
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. Can I have a motion to approve the, it should have been the same one. All right, moving on to 6. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of previous meetings, 9/19, 10/3, and 10/3?
This time I'd like to make a motion to approve and file the minutes of 9/19/2024 commission meeting, the October 3rd, 2024 workshop, and the October 3rd, 24 standing committee meetings.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. Moving on to 7A. I'm going to read both of these, and we do have Trevor here, but the first one is 7A. Can I have a motion on the proclamation?
Move to approve the proclamation honoring the United Way of St. Clair County for the 100th anniversary.
Support. And he is here in the audience today. He's here in the audience today.
For the United Way?
Yeah.
Correct.
Correct. And who's from the United Way? Oh, great. That's right. If you would, you want to come up, I'll read it. And
He didn't wear his hearing aids.
we had a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. United Way has been part of the county for a long time, so I'll read through this fairly quick. Proclamation honoring the United Way St. Clair County and 100th anniversary. Whereas in 1924, the United Way St. Clair County began a 4-year as a 4-year and welfare league and is the oldest United Way in Michigan. First campaign raised $49,505 for a goal of $50,000 and supported 10 agencies. In fact, 3 of the 10 are still members, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, and Catholic Charities. And whereas in 1930, the league became 4-year in community chest, but dissolved in 1931 in March, fresh 8 years later, the 4-year community chest was reestablished. And whereas during the war years, Marysville Community Chest merged with 4-year and community chest to support several war-related agencies being known as the Community War Chest. After the war ended, the name returned to 4-year community chest, and whereas in 1950, the community chest area was intended to include the townships of Fort Huron and Fort Gratiot. Whereas on January 1st, 1959, the meeting of other small community chests, such as the city of St. Clair, merged together to form the St. Clair County United Fund. Whereas in 1965, the city of St. Clair joined with and the United Way of St. Clair County was born. And whereas since 1924, the United Way of St. Clair County was able to raise over $69,300,000 on critical services in our community. For a century, the United Way has been a beacon of hope, delivering essential services and support to those who need it most. Now, therefore, be it resolved that St. Clair County Board of Commissioners congratulates United Way of St. Clair County on celebrating its 100th anniversary and urges citizens of St. Clair County to support and recognize the accomplishments of this organization and its volunteers who help make a difference in our community as they carry out the United Way mission into a new century of service. Proclaimed the 17th day of October, 2024, signed by all the members.
Well, anytime I can get the podium, I'll take it. I'll try to do the 3 Bs. I'll be bright, be brief, and be gone. So I want to thank the county, and I want to thank all of the county employees for being a great supporter and a great partner for many, many years, making sure we bridge the gap for those that have the ability to help and those that reach out for a helping hand. You know, when you think about 100 years, we wouldn't be here if it weren't for good citizens supporting us and good agencies providing the services that our citizens need. So thank you for this. I'm honored to receive this on behalf of the board of directors, and I want to congratulate all of you for providing this to us. So thank you.
right, moving on to 7B. Can I have a motion for the proclamation?
Yes, at this time, I'd like to make a motion to approve the proclamation honoring Trevor Floyd for receiving the 2024 GIS Leadership Lifetime Achievement Award.
Can I have a second?
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. Same thing, Trevor. If you want to come up, I'll read this right quick. Want to have anything to say? All right, it's honoring Trevor Floyd, 2024 GIS Leadership Lifetime Achievement Award. Whereas St. Clair County GIS analyst Trevor Floyd has been awarded the Michigan Counties Association of Mapping Professionals with the 2024 GIS Leadership Lifetime Achievement Award. And whereas Trevor earned his bachelor of arts degree in environmental science at Alaska Pacific University, and set the course for what would become an inspiring career in GIS. And whereas over 25 years ago, Trevor joined the Information Technology Department at St. Clair County, where he has been at the forefront of GIS technology. His leadership and support to many departments of St. Clair County has led to award-winning projects and presentations of the work growing from the days of paper maps to the cutting-edge use of QL2 LiDAR. And whereas Trevor has served on the My Camp Board since 2001 and has been a member of Imagine since 1998, bridging these two professional GIS organizations makes a profound difference by showing his commitment in advancing the field of GIS. And whereas Trevor's contribution encompasses more than just technology. He's a longtime member of the Boy Scout of America and a sailing trainer, Sea Scouts, the division of the Boy Scouts that brings co-ed ages 13 to 21 to experience all things water-based. They have to say we're racing in, winning multiple awards before doing an act on a race. Now therefore, be it resolved that St. Clair County Board of Commissioners on behalf of the citizens is hereby adopt this proclamation recognizing Trevor Floyd 2024 GIS Leadership Lifetime Achievement Award and extend our deep appreciation for his distinguished service and urge our fellow citizens to join in this heartfelt thanks and gratitude. Proclaim this 17th day of October 2024 and this time by the
Thank you. About this time, 26 years ago, the first professional conference I attended as a student for Alaska Pacific University, but I was up in Grand Rapids at the time. And everybody who attended that conference was sent a letter from Gordon Rattan, if anybody remembers that far back. They got a letter from Gordon saying, hey, we got this GIS job in St. Clair County. So 26 years later, here I am. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
All right, moving on to 8, consent agenda. Can I have a motion?
Mr. Chair, can I make a motion to approve items A through 8F on the consent agenda?
Support?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. Moving on to 9, reports of standing and special committees. We'll start at the far end. Steve?
No report.
Lisa?
So a couple of things. First of all, the Commission on Aging is meeting next week to go over their budget. They oversee the senior millage dollars, so that will be coming before the commission in the coming, well, with our budget. So you'll see that. And then also, the Health Department Board, Health Advisory Board met today. They did address some concerns that we heard at our last meeting about West Nile. And there's also a letter that will be forthcoming from the Board of Health Advisors, just talking about their support of Liz and the desire that they have for the commissioners to also support the Health Department. So I know that they're drafting that letter, and we should see that in probably the next week or two.
That be approved at your next meeting, or you're just going to have it forwarded?
It will be sent to you from the board chair.
Can I ask you a question, Lisa?
Sure.
The West Nile piece of it, what did they try to do with that?
The citizen that addressed us
Remember
at
that?
our meeting also came to the meeting this morning. And so, you know, we heard from that citizen, and then there was discussion just similar to what we received information from Liz in our email. She was updating the board on that as well. And then just how to handle it in the future. Mrs. Mortimer had some great suggestions for the spring, and how do we address this moving forward.
Went pretty well. I mean, it was a very sad situation, obviously.
Absolutely, it's a very sad situation, but I think that there's opportunity there to look at our practices and maybe try different ways to communicate and get the message out. Certainly, the health department, as you know, sent out several notices, but if we're not just because we send it doesn't mean it's being received, and so we need to find new ways to get our message in front of more people.
Thank you.
Steve, if you would, I can hear Lisa tonight, but I can't hear you, so.
Dave, please be quiet. Was it working?
I don't think
Paul turned me off. All right. Hello, hello. All right, I'll talk louder. How's that?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that it?
that's all tonight.
Joy?
Nothing tonight.
Dave?
I just wanted to congratulate the Sheriff's Department on that's working. On a record bust on Tuesday night, huge score of narcotics on a traffic stop, assisted with DTF, and I talked to the sheriff today, and he's pretty proud of his guys, so congratulations.
Okay, I have nothing tonight, so we're going to go to citizens wishing to address the board. Vicki Blackburn.
Hi, good evening and thank you. I'm just going to quickly share with you, I went through a ream of paper, I think, trying to think about what to say today in favor of democracy. My ideas were no good. I found that what I came up with could be perceived as judgmental, could be perceived as all kinds of things, and that didn't resonate. I prayed more, and I think with our shared belief systems that this may resonate with us. I'd like feedback if you're so inclined. There's a Dr. King quote. Hatred paralyzes life. Love releases it. Hatred confuses life. Love harmonizes it. Hatred darkens life. Love illuminates it. Love must be sincere. Okay, so I'm going to ask for your grace here. This is an unusual request in unusual times. Respectfully, may I ask you to join me in a silent prayer for wisdom and discernment when we vote. If you're not feeling God right now, it's okay to just breathe into love. And I'll ask you to say amen, Mr. Rushing, at 3 minutes if the board will.
You've got 1 minute and 20 left.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so if we can just please breathe. Know that the God of our understanding is here in this room, and we release into the silence, praying for discernment and wisdom and love for each other. Thank you, God, and so it is. Amen.
I definitely don't object to anybody saying prayers, so I appreciate that. We all need prayers to assist us doing our jobs up here. Joe Pavlov.
I'm Joe Pavlo. I'd like to represent you in the Michigan House of Representatives. I've been a lifelong area resident. I love this Blue Water area. I've traveled a lot in this country, and there's no other place I'd rather live. I'm married to my wife, Marilyn. We have 5 children and 18 grandchildren, so I'm very established. I'm a retired teacher. After 38 years of teaching, I guess you could say I flunked retirement. Even though I was the president of Right to Life of St. Clair County, I was very involved in my church on the Knights of Columbus. Previously, I had worked serving the Junior Chamber of Commerce, and I also, probably the highlight of my life was being the director of Blue Water Volley Grass. And that started out being about 50 athletes, and then we built it up to over 1,000 athletes with 1,500 people coming to the tournament each weekend. And I did that for 17 years, so I'm happy to say that that tournament is still going on. So now I have a new mission, and that mission is to become your representative in Lansing. Not only you, but there are 91,000 people in this district. I'm trying to meet as many of them as I can, and I have a wonderful team put together that have done things that I'm unable to do, like web pages and Facebook pages and videos, and also to walk with me. Personally, before the primary, I went to 6,302 homes. And I want to tell you, there are a lot of wonderful people in this district that I met. 181 of them, I tracked down their address and sent them a thank you letter to thank them for helping me win that primary and also to help me win the general election. I did run into a couple of clinkers too that were just as happy that I wouldn't show up there, so that's okay. But I'm here to ask for your help. It's not done yet. We have until November 5th. I've been giving it my best. I've been bringing people on board. I have some wonderful people that I talked about. I'm having a fundraiser. I put the flyer on your desk. If you are able to attend that fundraiser on October 30th, I would be honored to have you there. If you would care to contribute to my campaign. One of the things that they said, you will have to get used to asking for money, and I ask everyone for money. They told me it would be $50,000 in order to be able to win this election, and I'm nowhere near that right now. I put in the first $20,000 myself.
Your time's up.
My wife and I. Anyway, thank you, and you have a great day. I have some flyers back there.
Robert Felix.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'm Robert Felix. I want you to all think back a year ago. Smiths Creek Kimball community was coping with almost daily high hydrogen sulfide pollution. Asthmatics and those with breathing difficulties often found it necessary to stay indoors. Many complaints about the pollution were logged with Eagle. It was a bad chapter in St. Clair County's history, but this board stepped up and addressed the issue. 5 measures were proposed and passed unanimously by this board on December 14th, 2023. I feel that one of the 5 measures was not completely addressed, however, and with the new knowledge about the dangers of PFAS compounds and the June EPA ruling limiting PFAS levels in drinking water, it's time to address Measure 3 more fully. Knowing that the landfill and its leachate have high levels of PFAS makes this step prudent. Relative to the 3rd measure from December 14th, addressing water testing around the landfill, 5 tests were performed in spring 2024, but they did not include PFAS testing and did not include any surface water like ponds and lakes. Many residents in the area use the surface water ponds to irrigate food crops and water livestock, so that testing would be relevant. So I'm asking that the county approves an amount not to exceed $3,500, which would cover 10 PFAS tests at $300 a test at Merritt Labs in East Lansing, plus 10 times $50 overnight postage. The properties to be tested will be adjacent to or in proximity to the Smiths Creek landfill or the airport leachate lagoons, which have liners but no groundwater monitoring wells. There are 5 specific properties that are agreeable to or have asked for such tests. Those addresses are itemized on what I passed out to you earlier. Additionally, currently unspecified residents east of the landfill or near the airport lagoons with wells and ponds would also be tested in a statistically determined manner, as it is likely that the Smiths Creek landfill flares and generators are emitting PFAS, which is unaltered at combustion temperatures. Downwind deposition of the PFAS in ponds would be detected in surface water, such as ponds around the landfill. I would be agreeable to perform or assist in any way in the gathering of samples and submittal to the lab, as I have this type of experience. This testing would be an important step in safeguarding the public's health and would help restore the public's trust in the county landfill and health department. Thank you very much.
All right, I have no other citizens wishing to address the board. Do we have any unfinished business? Seeing none, we'll move to 12A. Can I have a motion to approve the September 2024 county disbursements?
This time I move to approve the September 2024 county disbursements, the amount of, looks like $42,870,349.14.
Support.
Have a roll call, or discussion first? No discussion, roll call, please.
Commissioner Beeden?
Yes.
Commissioner Trello?
Yes.
Commissioner Rushing?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanden Bosch?
Yes.
Commissioner Smasko?
Yes. Yes.
Moving on to 12B, can I have a motion to approve the memorandum of agreement for Michigan State?
Yes, at this time, I'd like to make a motion to approve the memorandum of agreement for Michigan State University Extension Services for the year 2025 in the amount of $103,771.
Have a second?
Support.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Trello?
Yes.
Commissioner Rushing?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanden Bosch?
Yes.
Commissioner Smasko?
Yes.
Commissioner Beeden?
Yes.
Moving on to 12C, can I have a motion to approve the installation costs for data drops for the Public Defender's Office?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the installation costs for data drops for Public Defender's Office in the amount of $22,120 for Blue Water Building LLC.
Support.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Rushing?
Yes.
Commissioner Vanden Bosch?
Yes.
Commissioner Smasko?
Yes.
Commissioner Beeden?
Yes.
Commissioner Trello?
Yes.
Moving on to 12D,
At this time, I'd like to make a motion to approve the contract for law enforcement services between the City of Algonac and the St. Clair County Sheriff's Office for a term of October 1st, 2024 through September 30th, 2027, in the amount of $2,884,218.
Support.
any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Vanden Bosch?
Yes.
Commissioner Smasko?
Yes.
Commissioner Beeden?
Yes.
Commissioner Trello?
Yes.
Commissioner Rushing?
Yes. 12E, can I have a motion to approve the initial work agreement for the fiscal year 2025 Emergency Management Performance Grant?
Mr. Chair, can I make a motion to approve the initial work agreement for fiscal year 2025 emergency management grant?
Support?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. Moving on to 12F. Can I have a motion to approve the 2024-2025 Child Care Fund?
So moved in the amount of $6,829,570.
Support?
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Samasco?
Yes.
Commissioner Beeden?
Yes.
Commissioner Trello?
Yes.
Commissioner Rushing?
Yes.
Commissioner Vandenbosch?
Yes.
Moving on to 12G. Have a motion to approve the changes to the Sheriff's Road Patrol, Jail, and Drug Task Force.
At this time, I'd like to make a motion to approve the changes to the Sheriff, Road Patrol, Jail, and Drug Task Force manning table for the elimination of 2 part-time Service Bureau agents and add 1 full-time FOIA Service Bureau coordinator.
Support.
Thank you.
Any discussion? I don't believe we need a roll call, do we? Carrie? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. Moving on to 12H.
This
Have
time I
motion
make a
to-
motion to approve the fiscal year 2025 residential substance abuse treatment grant agreement in the amount of $248,939.
Support.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Beeden?
Yes.
Commissioner Trello?
Yes.
Commissioner Rushing?
Yes.
Commissioner Vandenbosch?
Yes.
Commissioner Samasco?
Yes.
Moving on to 12I. Motion to approve Addendum A.
At this time, I'd like to make a motion to approve Addendum A for the agreement with Janitize It for landfill cleaning services, extending the term of the agreement until December 31 of '25, increasing the not-to-exceed amount to $27,700.
Have a second?
Support.
Thank you.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Trello?
Yes?
Commissioner Rushing?
Yes.
Commissioner Vandenbosch?
Yes.
Commissioner Samasco?
Yes.
Commissioner Beeden?
Yes.
Moving on to 12J. Can I have a motion to adopt Resolution 2422?
So moved. Authorizing submission to the Michigan Lighthouse Association Program Grant, allocate required local match funds.
Support.
Any discussion? Remember when I was a supervisor, resolutions recalled a roll call, but I guess we don't do it, so I'll just ask, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. Moving on to 12K. Need a motion to adopt Resolution 2424.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to adopt Resolution 2024 Performance Resolution to conduct activities in the State of Michigan Department of Transportation right-of-ways for parks and recs.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. Moving on to 12L.
This time I'd like to make a motion to reappoint to the Brownfield Redevelopment Authority Board Lorelei Natke, District 1 Representative, John Cooper, District 2 Representative, and Paul Wade, District 5 Representative, for a 3-year term expiring October 31st, 2027.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. 12M, need a motion to adopt Resolution 2420.
This time I would move the adoption of Resolution 2420 imposing our 2024 winter property tax levy.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. Moving on to 12N. I have a motion to approve the Zero Trust Security Project.
At this time, I'd like to make a motion to approve the Zero Trust Security Project using America Rescue Plan Act funds in the amount of $212,560.
Second?
Support.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Rushing?
Yes.
Commissioner Vandenbosch?
Yes.
Commissioner Samasco?
Yes.
Commissioner Beeden?
Yes. Commissioner
Trello?
Yes.
All right, moving on to 12O. Need a motion to approve the agreement for payroll services with St. Clair County Regional Education Service.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the agreement for payroll services with the St. Clair County Regional Educational Service Agency for the year end 2025 in the amount of $35,600.
Support.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Vandenbosch?
Yes.
Commissioner Samasco?
Yes.
Commissioner Beeden?
Yes.
Commissioner Trello?
Yes.
Commissioner Rushing?
Yes. Moving on to 12P. I need a motion to approve Commissioner District 3 American Rescue Plan Act project.
At this time, I'd make a motion to approve the Commissioner District 3 American Rescue Plan Act project for the city of Port Huron in the amount of $100,000 for the Southside Neighborhood Authority improvements.
Support.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Smasko?
Yes.
Commissioner Beeden?
Yes.
Commissioner Torello?
Yes.
Commissioner Rushing?
Yes.
Commissioner Vandenbach?
Yes.
12Q, can I have a motion to approve Commissioner District 3 American Rescue Plan Act project?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve Commissioner District 3 ARPA project for the city of Port Huron in the amount of $25,581.85, purchase of police radios.
Support.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Beeden?
Yes.
Commissioner Torello?
Yes.
Commissioner Rushing?
Yes.
Commissioner Vandenbach?
Yes.
Commissioner Smasko?
Yes.
12R, need a motion to decline the pursuit of EPA grant as proposed by Kimball Township.
At this time, I'd like to make a motion to decline the pursuit of the EPA grant as proposed by Kimball Township.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Wait, could we have Carrie make a little record of that? We got through, that's the Tetra Tech report, is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
I'd like to have Carrie,
Sure.
a record on that.
As you'll recall, earlier this year, the board signed a contract with Tetra Tech not only to review the proposal provided by Kimball Township and their consultant on the feasibility on if that would work at our landfill. We're also having them evaluate multiple PFAS technologies, and that report will be coming to you likely in, I asked them to hold off till January, since decisions will need to be made when the new board is sitting. But at this time, upon reviewing of the technology, they don't feel it is a feasible or viable solution for our landfill to address our PFAS technology. They feel it would also be costly, and it hasn't been tested on this scale as they proposed.
As I understand it, we initially took some action to consider being lead applicant on this EPA grant for a technology that was algae-based technology for PFAS remediation. And now we've done the pilot study for foam fractionation. There's ionization, there's other filtering methods we're looking at. Tetra Tech is going to give us all of that, in the next couple of months, and then hopefully make the decision on where to go as far as addressing the issue at the landfill for our leachate that goes into the Kimball force main and then off to the city of Port Huron for treatment.
Yeah, that's correct.
Thank you.
Okay,
So this is, the motion is to
Not-
decline.
correct.
Okay, thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. Moving on to 12S, Resolution 2421.
This time I would move to the adopt resolution 2421 for appropriating taxes for the year 2024.
Any discussion?
I'll support it.
What is that, Carrie, just
Thank you.
generally? That's just our general tax levy?
Yeah, this is what allows us to levy property taxes.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. Oh, move to administrator's report.
Just a little bit more on the landfill topic. Matt and I do have bi-weekly meetings with Tetra Tech to discuss where they're at. And pilot testing will be happening in early November for the carbon ion exchange system as well as the reverse osmosis system. Then they'll be analyzing that data and then doing the full cost-benefit analysis, cost to operate, and the effectiveness of each solution, and be providing the board with a recommendation. And it's my...
Tetra Tech is going to do those two, and we have a other freestanding one for the fractionation. They're going to look at all that?
Yeah, they are looking at the pilot study that we did for the foam fractionization. They're going to be looking at all of that, and they will come make a formal presentation to you. Right now, we're targeting January.
Do you think that'll be like a video link thing or just a written report? Or how do you think that is going to take place?
I believe we'll get a written report similar to the recommendation you received here, and then, the presentation format, that can be decided if there's something different you would like to see.
If you wanted to ask questions, we can't reach out to the company, but if they were here, perhaps they could answer some questions on their recommendation.
Yeah, it is our intent to have them here to present those findings, because I
Thank you.
certainly can't answer those questions. We will be presenting the general fund budget at your November committee meeting, and the public hearing is scheduled for the November full board meeting with adoption either at the November meeting or after that if the board's not ready to adopt it. The special revenue fund budgets will be coming to you in December. Administration has been working with the courts on a proposal to reopen 2 pods for residential juvenile, for housing juveniles. Currently, we send them out of county or they're going to Macomb. There is not sufficient bed space and it is very costly, so they are looking at opening up 2 pods, and that proposal will be coming to you very soon. Last week, we met with Huntington Bank for our normal quarterly roundtable meeting. We were informed that our account is no longer going to be managed locally. We are now going to be managed by their branch out of, I believe they said, Rochester. So our local contacts will no longer be here. I don't know who our new contact is going to be or how our quarterly meetings are going to happen. But I guess on the heels of that, we have not done an RFP for this service ever since inception. The system was set up when it was brand new with, I believe it was Citizens Bank at the time, and we've stayed with them through the multiple transitions. I think now that maybe our account is no longer going to be local, I think it's a good time for us to pursue an RFP and see what else is out there. That likely won't happen until the beginning of the year just because we're wrapping up all the ARPA projects right now, but that is something that will be on administration's to-do list to work on in the
Carrie, is
first
that
quarter.
something that you can't do that on your own? You need a motion for that, or?
Nope, I do not need a motion to do an RFP. When we find a vendor and select the vendor, that's when the board takes action.
I think it's a good idea to put it out for an RFP. I don't know how the other commissioners feel, but if you're looking for direction, that would be my assessment.
I think we have to keep it. Initial
Yeah,
thought.
it's, I know we've gotten excellent service. I know staff in my office, in the treasurer's office, they're able to get reports, information we need for our auditors. You know, they've been very responsive. And, you know, that may continue even though it's transferring. However, I think it's appropriate to do an RFP at this time.
Do you think Huntington would reconsider and keep it local? Are you going to send them an RFP also?
Well, they will be posted on Mitten, the Mitten system that we use, but, you know, certainly we'll make them aware. The RFPs for the architect for the redesign of the animal control building or the animal control move, those RFPs are due next week. Hopefully we can have a recommendation to you in November. If not, that will come in December. And that's all I have this evening, unless there's questions.
Any questions? Can I have a motion to accept and refile the administrator's report?
Make a motion to accept the report.
Support.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. This time, do we have any miscellaneous business?
Got one, Dave. See, Bob Felix is here, and he sent us this written request for some testing of the PFAS. You know, I made the motion back in December of last year, and that item was, I actually initially, when I did my motion, I'd included the violent organic compounds and some of these other nasty types of substances. I removed that, and we left it basically to our administration and health department to do some level of testing, and it kind of left it at that. And I did look up the test that was done that Mr. Felix talked about, and it was for pretty much the type of test you might do for regular water testing. And you know, the upshot for that, for me, was that it was clean of a lot of the things that you might see migrating from a landfill. So that was certainly good to know that. It wasn't like there was anything alarming about that. But on the issue of the PFAS itself, I'm very concerned about it. From what I've been studying on it, it is ubiquitous. It is toxic to humanity. It's something that's going to be coming forward. We're really going to have to deal with it at the landfill level, our leachate, water quality over to the Port Huron and all that. So, and I did talk to Liz King. I called her about the report, and I did talk to the administrator briefly about it. You know, like with the health department, it's like, well, to follow the science, it's really not necessary because there's no indication anything's moving from the landfill, okay? But the other thing I would like to do is one of two things, is either put this on next month on the committee so we could talk about it, because I think there's a people need some, to feel good about what we're doing. They need to be able to have peace of mind. And for this kind of money to have some testing adjacent to the landfill, I would tend to support it because it would provide peace of mind. I don't want to make a motion now, but I think the motion I made in December was broad enough that we could actually do it if we decided to do it without a motion. But could we put this on at least for next month on committee and talk about it? We do have some litigation pending. Maybe there's some issues there that we need to look at. You know, if we start testing for substances in the middle of some litigation, maybe that has a negative effect. But maybe, I think, take a look at it. I think Mr. Felix's request is certainly reasonable. I think it's something we should look at, and if we could put it on for next month and have a discussion on it, we could maybe learn more about it.
Peace of mind is a term, but I think we need to do it for the safety of the public in St. Clair County. So definitely think we should do it, and I believe the funds, and Carrie would know this is under the amount that actually needs board approval if we so choose, right? Under 5,000?
That's correct.
So if we wanted to just go forward with it, you could do that on your own, because you already had the motion from December 23. Is that possible? Just go forward with it?
What was the question, Dave?
She has the authority, because it's under 5,000, to go ahead and go forward with this.
I didn't want to just throw it up and just do it. I mean, it's something that came up recently. I would like to have some discussion on it. I mean, I want to look at it a little bit closer. I think I should check with, Corporation
More
Counsel.
guidance next month at the committee meeting.
Well, if we have a discussion at committee and the board is of the consensus that we should do this, then we just don't need a motion. We can just, administration say, well, we'll go ahead and do this level. One of the concerns I had was who gets tested and who doesn't, because a lot of people would probably like to have testing. So what methodology did Mr. Felix use to select the 5 or 6 that he chose? I mean, maybe there's 5 or 6 others that were better or different. Maybe we should have and I think he did mention in some of his remarks that it could be some statistically based reason to test. But the thing is, testing east of the landfill, I know that with the incineration of landfill gas, PFAS is not destroyed. It becomes ambient, it becomes an aerosol, so then it can in rainfall and end up in things, and things, the other part of it we would acknowledge now is just because something, let's say something shows up, that doesn't mean it came from our landfill. But, it's going to be worth knowing for people's peace of mind, public safety, all of that, and then just do it in a thoughtful way, and I don't want to just direct somebody to do it. I'd like to talk about it and have some board discussion on it, maybe some citizens.
Well, that'll be taken care of at the committee meeting. So we'll take care of it then and discuss it more then. Is there any other miscellaneous business? Okay, moving on to 15. Can I have a motion to receive and file packets and all information present?
So moved.
Support?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. Now we're going to be going into closed session, agenda item 16. Could I have a motion for that?
I'd like to make a motion to move to closed session for the purpose of collective bargaining strategy discussion and to adjourn immediately after.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed.